friends, welcome to my channel Chic and Savvy, where we talk about all things relating to planning and budgeting. My name is Carissa, and today we will be setting up my finance planner for the month of September. So let's go ahead and get into it. I still have some marker on my hands because I was coloring my dashboards and my bill calendar, so disregard, but we will see all of that in here. So let's go ahead and open her up. I did take out the decorative elements that we had here for August. I don't subscribe to my Planner Envy anymore, so I'm not getting those stationery items, but I'm gonna come up with something else to put here. I'm gonna go to the store later today to see if I can find anything just super quick online. In the store to put here, and then if not, I'll have to try to print something that is related to the theme of this month. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I can try to find something this weekend. But let's go ahead and go to September. Okay, so this is the start of September. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip through super quick so you guys can see the pages. They are the same as they are every month, but I'll just do a quick flip through in case somebody is new and wants to see what pages I have in my finance planner. So all of this is all finance related. I have this planner solely dedicated for my finances, and I keep all 12 months in here so that way I can look back and compare numbers if I need to. So this is the beginning of the new month. So first we start off with our financial goals. I set this up with my husband. We haven't had a chance to do it yet, but we map out exactly what we want to do with our money for the month. So like last month, we really focused on paying off our Discover card, which we were able to do. We wanted to focus on keeping to our budget and not overspending, and putting any money that we had left over towards our credit card debt. So those are kind of the goals, probably similar that we're gonna do for this month, except we did pay off the Discover card. So we are now going to be paying down a different credit card. And so that'll be our prime focus. But we'll fill these out probably this weekend. So this is the theme of our September bill calendar. It is going to be a fall theme or autumn theme. I say this with quotations because I live in Arizona and there is no way that we experience fall or autumn. And if we do, it's definitely not in September. It is definitely still over 100 degrees. But I'm going to pretend that this is my life and that we are getting into the fall season, because I figured it's best to do this in September because October is going to be like spooky season, and then November is going to be like Thanksgiving-y / more fall, and then December is just really related to Christmas. So in other states, I'm sure it'll be cooling down, so I'm going to pretend I live there and that I'm experiencing the fall season. So this month, the theme is really like fall festivals, pumpkin patch, because those things start opening up in September, and that is when seasons start to change in most places. So that is our theme. So we have our bill calendar here, and if you don't know how this works, I am gonna set this up once we do our flip through, so stay tuned. Next is my budget overview. I like to do in a monthly budget of our money for the entire month, just so I can see all of the bills coming out and all of the money that we're going to be able to save. So I like to do an overview like that just to see the kind of grand scheme of things. And then I have our paycheck planner sheets. These are what I use every week to budget our income, so that way we can see what bills we need to pay and then how much money we can save. Because we do have a zero-based budget, and we do the cash envelope method. I have this sheet right here so that way we can determine what denominations we need to get back from the bank. And so I have these for each week. And then this is my sinking funds tracker. This just tracks what the total of my sinking funds are after every week. So that way, if I didn't want to go through all my binders, I can look at this at a glance to see, okay, home has $30. I have $30 to spend. Or car maintenance has $200 and I need $300 for my registration. This is just a quick kind of glance to see what those are. And then this is my savings tracker. So this actually tells me how much money I saved in each category and then the total of how much I saved towards my sinking funds at the end of the month. And then the back is just a little notes page. And so those are the sheets that are important to me and what I like to track and keep track of and what is working best for me in my system. So now let's go ahead and go to our bill calendar. We are going to be setting this up today. And so the colors that I use for the bill calendar are the colors that I used to color in this sheet. So I have the markers here. Aren't these just giving you all of the fall feels? Oh, I love it. I'm ready for this. I'm over the summer. I'm ready to jump into the seasonal months, which are like the fun months. And I feel like because the seasonal things are coming up, it's gonna make the year kind of go by faster. And I'm looking forward to us buying our house. So that's why I'm just excited for the end of the year. So first, let's pick a color to do our numbers in. I have this number sheet that I got from Amazon a million years ago. So we're gonna try to find a color that is similar to our vibe. I think we're just gonna use red because I don't wanna try to be picky about it. So let me go ahead and put these numbers on and then we will go ahead and talk about filling out the rest of the calendar. Okay, I have everything marked, all of the dates. I wrote in the 29th, 30th, and 31st. This is why I need more colors because I wish it would have just had colors that matched or were in a different color for the last month, but we're just gonna leave it as is. So we have everything listed here. So the next step is to write in all of our bills for the month and the pay dates. So let's go ahead and do the pay dates first. I have these pay date stickers from the Aesthetic Dollar that we are going to use. So let me get them out. These are translucent, which I love. Oh, and these are the little dots I used for our pay dates. So we are gonna use these, but first we need to highlight. So I use the highlighting method to differentiate when my pay dates are and when my bills are gonna be due to go with that pay date. So we're gonna take the red out because we already used the red and we are gonna use these colors. This might be a little dark, so let's leave this for last. Let's go ahead and focus on these, even though I like the brown, but I think it'll be too dark. See how dark it is? But we'll see. So let's go ahead and write paycheck number 1, and then we'll write October paycheck number 1. Okay, so let's start. Let's do the green first. So we'll make paycheck 1 this lighter green color. And then we'll make the second paycheck this light brown. And then we'll do the dark green. And then we'll do this color. And then we'll do the October one in this dark. Yeah, this is really dark. Okay, So the light green is going to be our paycheck 1, like our first paycheck of the month, which is the 29th. So we are going to highlight right here. And then we're going to put a payday sticker, because it's translucent, over top. Like that. Perfect. So these are all of our paydays for the month. Now this one is for the next month, but so these are the 4 that we're working with for the month of September, and then this one will go into October. So now let's go ahead and list out when all of our bills are due. These are all of our bills for the month. So now we can decide how we are going, which bills we are going to pay with which paychecks. So the first paycheck is in this light green color. And we are going to pay our Verizon bill with that paycheck, our Fed loan, and our city card. So they are in the same color as the payday that is going to pay for those bills. So that's why they are all in the green. So the second payday is in this lighter tan color, and we are going to pay this PlayStation subscription. We are going to pay Canva Pro. We're going to pay Unissa. We're going to pay PenFed. We are going to pay my husband's student loans. Credit One, and Cox. So that might be a lot and they're all over the place, but a lot of those are really, really small. And I like to try to balance how much I'm gonna pay towards bills to make it kind of the same for each paycheck. So those are the bills we're gonna use to pay with this paycheck. Now in this darker color for paycheck 3, paycheck 3 for us is always the one where our big bill comes out, and that is this bill. So we use that paycheck to pay for one thing, and that is that. So that is the only bill that is going to be used for that paycheck. And then paycheck 4 is for the rest of these bills. So USAA, Webtoon, Crunchyroll, and Truest. So all of our bills should now be in a color that is represented by the payday. So let's review this one more time. So this is our first paycheck of the month, August 29th. It's in this light green color. Any bill that you see in light green, I'm gonna use this paycheck to pay for those bills. In this tan color, this is paycheck 2. Any bill in this tan color is what I'm gonna use this paycheck to pay for. The dark green, I have one bill in that color, so I'm gonna use this paycheck to pay for that bill. In this orangey color, anything in that orangey color is I'm gonna use that paycheck to pay for those bills. And that is how I like to see my calendar, so that way when I'm budgeting, it makes it super easy to know, okay, what bills am I gonna pay for? And I have it right here. Now, if you're an automatic pay kind of a person, this system is obviously not gonna work for you, because if your bills are all automatic, it's just gonna come out and you're gonna be using probably the paycheck that is before those bills to pay for those items. And you may ask me why I don't do it that way. And that's because all of my bills are spread out, but they're all different amounts, and some are way bigger than others. And if I were to do them automatic, this week might be $500 coming out. The second week, it might be $700 coming out. I don't like it when my bills are like that. And I also like to pay my bills as soon as I get paid. I don't like to wait and hold that money in my account. That's just what works for me and my husband. I'd rather physically pay all of my bills than have it automatic. Granted, I do have like a few that are automatic, and that's because you either get a discount having it automatic, or they need you to set it up that way for like insurance or your phone bill. But this is just the system that I like to use because it works for us. So this doesn't work for everybody, but it might be a good idea, even if your bills are automatic, for you to have a calendar like this so you know when your bills are due and you can plan out, hey, I have a paycheck here. I got all these bills due before my next paycheck. These are the bills that are going to come out automatic, and you can still budget that way because you know what bills are going to be getting taken out of your account. So now that we have all of that settled, we can go ahead and move to the budget overview. So this is going to tell us what our monthly budget is going to look like. So we have me and my husband's income. So we're going to write that here. And so this is just based off of estimated amounts. So we'll just estimate $1,250. Okay, we'll do this for our estimated amounts for income. So let's go ahead and add that up. So I did his paycheck's on the 29th, mine's the 4th, his is the 12th, mine's the 18th. So we have $1,250 times 2 plus, so $5,250. Perfect. And so now we can write, so that is our income category. And the way this budget overview works is we break out our income and then we break out fixed expenses. These are any bills that you have that are a fixed amount that come out every single month. So that's all of these. And then we have our debt section. That is a fixed expense, but I just like to separate mine out so that way I can see what I'm spending in debt a month total. And then variable expenses are still expenses that you have, but they can vary based off of maybe what you're doing. So this is like your groceries, your gas, your spending money, your fun money. Anything like that would be in this category. So let's go ahead and do our fixed expenses. So I'm just going to write out all of these and then we'll go ahead and calculate the total together. These are our bills that are not debt. So Verizon is going to be $275 for this month since I joined my husband's phone plan and they are taking out like a bunch of fees and all this stuff just for the first month. So that's why that's higher. PlayStation Plus subscription is $20. Canva Pro is $15. My ACC fee is $35. USAA is $3.59. Webtoon is $11. Crunchyroll is $11. And then I forgot Cox. So our Cox Wi-Fi is $80. Okay, so let me put this away because it's like getting in my way. And then we'll fill out the rest of the sheet. So let's go ahead and calculate what the total of this is. So we have $275 plus 20 plus 15 plus 35 plus 359, 11, 1180. So 806 is the amount of bills. And then debt, oh, I threw my sheet out. I mean my binder, but let me go ahead and write this in and then we'll calculate this total. I have them written out. So our UNISA is 195. My student loan is not, I don't have payments on it yet. City is 100, PenFed is 100. ACC is 521. My husband's student loan is 53. Credit one is $8. And Truest is 125. So let's add that up. And that is 1,102. Perfect. So that is all of our debt and then all of our bills. So now we can move on to variable expenses. So our variable expenses look a little different because we do live with my parents right now. So our typical expenses of like groceries, household items for like laundry and soap and all that kind of stuff we aren't paying for currently, but we do give my parents money and we give them $1,000. We give our moms money also, and we give them $200. And then we do have a household category, but this is more for like hygiene items or anything that we need. And we budget $50 for the month. And then my husband's spending, he gets $30 a week, so that's $120. My spending is the same. And then self-care gets $50. And then gas gets $200. Eating out, we do $30 a week for $120. Our fund money is the same at $120. Donations is $20 for $5 a week. And then my husband's lunches is $120. So let's calculate this. So that's $2,120. So now that we have everything listed out, any leftover money that we have is the money that we have to put towards our sinking funds, our savings challenges, and any extra debt payments. So now we're gonna take our income, we're gonna subtract our fixed expenses, our variable expenses, and our debt. So this is how much we have left over at the end of the month, or after everything is paid for, to put towards our savings goals. So I like to write that right here. So I know how much money we have left to budget for the things that we want to save for. So that is the reason why I do the budget overview. So that way when I'm doing my weeklies, I want to have a little bit of an even split. Like if we divided this by 4, I want to be able to save that much each week. So that way I have enough money to put into the categories that I want for my sinking funds. So that way I can pre-plan how our month is going to go. Like if we have gifts that we need to save for, if we have bigger bills, like extra debt we want to pay off, if we have any like car maintenance things that we need to pay off. I know like, okay, if I budget this much for this week, I know how much I'm going to be able to split out of this money to be able to pay for those things. So that's why I like to do that. Let's get my binder back. Let's put this in here. So that is our finance planner all ready to go for September. So after I fill out my financial goals with my husband, our bill calendar is all ready to go. So that way we can start budgeting for this payday and then start cash stuffing our envelopes. So this is the process that I like to do at the beginning of every month to get myself organized, so that way I know when my bills are due, when they're gonna be getting paid, and how much money I'm gonna have left over to save for. So this process might look different for you guys, but this is what works for me, and I love visually seeing everything on this calendar. So that way it makes it easier for me to know when I'm going to pay my bills. So I hope this helped you guys in some way, and maybe it'll influence you to organize your finances in a way that works for you, but you don't have to do it in a binder. This can all be done with a piece of paper and a pencil and a calculator. That is how I originally started doing my budget, and it's just evolved into something like this just because I want it all in one place. But I want to thank you all for being by my side throughout this journey, and I can't wait to see where life takes us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, friends.